Hello, welcome to Citizen Tarot. I'm going to start this off because I always forget to say things, but like and subscribe, please. And I also just hated the way I just said that, and I hope that didn't prevent you from liking or subscribing. But anyway, I'm just going to get into this. Okay, so in this reading, I'm going to start us off with some random excerpt from this book I have called Pop Science by James Ball. It's filled with fun, like jokey things about random classic songs. I'm just gonna open to a random one to help send us off on a message. Okay, the first thing I'm seeing. So the one we landed on is "What Is Love" by Hathaway. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Okay. A good starting point for Hathaway would be to ignore said poets. As any good social scientist knows, their approach to these kinds of definitional questions are imprecise and unhelpful. We can also discern from the context of the song, and specifically from his pleas for monogamy, that Hathaway is not referring to platonic love or parental love, but rather romantic love. Okay. All right. What is love? And then the other thing that I really saw that really popped is this word swadade. Swadad. I should know how to pronounce that because I've seen this word before. Swadade. Swad. Anyway, it's Portuguese, an intense longing for a person or a place you love, but that is now lost. A desire for that which is gone. So this is going to be a love reading, obviously. I'm going to use a random card as a placeholder, and at the end of it, it's your sweary affirmation. At the end of it, we'll look at your sweary affirmation. There it is. Okay. What is Love by Hathaway? It's interesting. I think it's funny that the author was like, how do you answer a question like that? It's different for everyone. Basically, it's like, what is love? It's not a knowable thing entirely, right? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. I took the wrong deck. I want to give this an overall energy for this What is Love reading. The crone. The crone. The threshold. This might be pretty similar to the most previous pose, the most recent reading, the one I just did, which is a really cool reading about zero. Anima Mundi. Okay, that's the overall energy. The crone has to do, it's like the old wise sage, kind of the witchy old wise sage. The crone is someone who has a lot of life experience and can look at tragic situations and as well as just like happy situations and sees them all under this lens that's like, I want to say the word absurdism, right? The idea that like this existence is just absurd, right? Like hard things are hard, but it's like, duh, this was going to happen. And it's like almost a sort of like, this is the way it is, man, kind of energy. Then you have the threshold and Anima Mundi. Damn. This is interesting because threshold is pretty straightforward, right? You're at the precipice of something new. And I'm noticing the colors on this card. The threshold is hot. Maybe it has to do with passion and fire. Maybe it's a hard thing. The threshold. Maybe you're on the threshold of a hard thing that you might be dealing with. Maybe it's a decision someone's trying to make about what actions to take to move forward. What does that look like? Is it letting go? Is it holding on? Enduring this pain, perhaps? Then you have this Anima Mundi, which also brings to mind the word absurdism again. Again, with that, like, so Anima Mundi is like the everythingness of stuff, right? Everything Everywhere All at Once comes to mind. It's just that concept of like, I just want to stick with that word, absurdism. It's a sense of being able to detach from pain enough to see how ridiculous it is, right? Almost laughably ridiculous, even if it is extremely painful. I'm not trying to minimize anybody's experience, and it's not meant to do that. But absurdism helps you to embrace reality, the everythingness, right? We are everything. We experience everything in this lifetime. I mean, in a way, right? You're going to experience pain and joy and heartache and humor and tears. You're going to be the villain. You're going to be the hero. You're going to be all of these things, right? Okay. Send us off into our tarot. Part of this energetic. What is love? Absurd. Love is absurd. Love is absurdism, for sure. Okay. I've got the Four of Wands. A home. A happy home. A place that's felt like home. An environment that feels like home. It's been fruitful. A Five of Swords. In reverse, by the way. Ten of Cups in reverse. Death. And Page of Pentacles. Okay. I mean, it's pretty obvious what this is sort of saying, right? In my brain. Here's a dilemma. We're at this threshold of making a decision about this home that is under stress. It's kind of turned upside down. The family, sorry, my desk. The drawer keeps sliding open. This family situation, whatever kind of situation was happening inside the home, doesn't feel so good anymore. Perhaps this home being in the upright really just represents a home that presents really well, right? This is what we look like. This is how we feel. Why are we feeling this way? Someone was pit against another. Could be a third party situation. Could be some sense of betrayal, right? Sneakiness. I kind of want to read what the deck has to say about that specific card up in reverse. Five in reverse. After a period of conflict, you are ready for change. We're at the threshold. You are ready for change. Apologize. Sorry, I need to read this like a normal human. Apologize. Ask for forgiveness and make amends so that you can move on and create a more fertile ground for new ideas and collaboration. So perhaps whoever's viewing this is someone who has caused heartache in this home, sort of contributed in turning it on its head. Perhaps it's more than one person, right? Maybe it's just a hard situation and people made stupid decisions or hard decisions that hurt other people and turned this family that was already on its head and has kept it on its head, right? And now you're at this threshold of making a decision, but you have this death card in reverse. I need to be reminded what death in the reverse is. You are experiencing deep inner change. Let go of an aspect of yourself that is no longer serving you and make way for something greater. Do not resist change. So then you have this Page of Pentacles. Still learning tarot, so I'm gonna look at this again. But this is someone who has something to offer, right? You are inspired to start a new financial or career opportunity, and you see potential to grow and manifest your goals. You are ready to up-level your skills and learn something new. So maybe the stagnancy of life in this family situation, which has been in the reverse, has kept you from being your full self more and kept you from pursuing these things that you hold dear and have value to you. And you have this desire now to press forward, to let this home turn on its head so that you can move on with your life and expand and grow. Perhaps you're starting to see that the change is inevitable and needed. You're starting to put all these pieces together, right? And see, yes, okay, I can accept this now. And this crone energy at the threshold with all this anima mundi that there is a future, and I'll look back on this, and this is just going to be a part of this life, that I get to be the villain, I get to be a hero, I get to be joyful and happy, and also sad and heartbroken. I get to heartbreak. This is all part of that. So it's a feeling of acceptance I'm picking up on, where you stop beating up on yourself or the situation, trying to change it, make it something it's not, but accepting its absurdity, the absurdity of reality. And in doing that, you're going to be able to take the next steps forward. Okay? Tell us more. Got the 9 of Swords. You've been up in your head about this quite a bit. Someone's been up in their head about this quite a bit. They're heartbroken about it. But they're coming around to this sense of acceptance, right? And it's hard to get to that sense of acceptance. And maybe, we're going to draw some action cards as to how to accept that, I think. Tell us more. I still feel like there's something more here. We've got the Emperor. Oh, the Hermit. Behind the Emperor. And the Fool. Okay. So we have an Emperor. This can be male or female. Just masculine energy. Someone who is reigning and has mastered all of the elements. That someone is upset about. Perhaps it's the Emperor themselves. It seems like actually it's the Emperor themselves who's upset and staying up all night and in their heads about this. With this 9 of Swords, because right behind the Emperor is this Hermit. The Emperor has withdrawn. Doesn't feel like an Emperor type energy anymore, right? It hasn't felt that way. And in that withdrawing is coming to this absurdist acceptance that it's time to move on. And I really like this card because the Fool has, he's holding a flower in his hand. He's got this loyal dog behind him. He's got this sense of cheerful disposition moving forward. This is someone who's accepted where they're coming from, right? And sees some way forward. Perhaps they're even leaving what they know has been to be the sun, right? They're putting their faith in the darkness and the direction that the darkness is in, the mysterious, to move forward. And it's really, really hard to do because, especially when you have been in a situation for so long, and a family situation even, that's an entire identity. This is someone who is expanding in their identity, and it almost looks in a sense that they're stepping off of a cliff, but I guess we can look at it more as like the unknown, right? And he's got these 2 different colored boots, right? And one boot is the same color as the land that he's stepping off of. And one foot has the unknown, right? But this land, he's taking what he does know and his experiences and taking them with him. Not leaving his experience in the past, but accepting the truth that he's taken and learned, the lessons he's learned into the mysterious, knowing that it's going to serve him well. with this flower in hand. He's got this dog behind him, a sense of loyalty behind him. Perhaps it's helpful to figure out and know that you will be supported, right? And things might look extremely different than how they had been. Maybe you can't even imagine how different. But to have this dog behind you, the sense of you're going to have support and loyalty behind you. But the trick is just to take the next steps forward. Okay. Let's take some action cards about what we can do in this situation to move forward. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. This is someone who's going off to find what love is really for them. Maybe they don't feel that they've really experienced it the way that they want to. And the sunny disposition comes with the faith of believing in that, right? And also accepting a sense of self-worth. Don't hurt me no more. You're not going to keep yourself in a place that hurts anymore. That does no good for anyone, right? Okay, first action card, Ash. I'm going to draw 4 action cards. Action cards taking the steps forward. Chiron. Silver. Oh, I really like this already. And fog. That just landed right back in my hand on top of the deck. So I'm going to pull that out, but I'm going to draw one more. The Void. Okay. All right. I'm going to start this off actually with the Void. There can be no nothing. Does that make sense? There has to always be something. There is no real void in time and space. There can only be a void of a specific type of thing, but there always is something, right? There is something. I'm getting into weird territory. But the void is filled. The void gives an impression, the impression that it's empty. And perhaps it's empty of all the things that you know of, but the void itself is filled with something, right? Aether. The aether is what everything else in the universe exists in and through, right? The ether in alchemy can be turned into anything, right? The idea that there's some base level material or whatever it may be that makes up all of the universe, and since it makes up all the universe, everything is made out of it. You can make anything. You can make anything out of this. You have this void, this empty space to fill up, to turn into what you will. My desk. I really need to fix this issue. Okay. Void. So you have ash. Ash is something that was once something like, what is ash? Ash comes out of burning wood, burning things. It's what's left over, the matter that's left over of something. People will take, this is kind of grim, but people will save the ashes of their loved ones because it's still something that was them, right? Something that was it serves not just as a reminder, but like this made up this person that I loved, right? And so ash of a thing, of a relationship, perhaps this relationship really burnt you to the ground in a lot of ways. In some ways, maybe it was really, really damaging and an out of control sort of fire. And it's left a bunch of ash. but that ash still holds value, right? And you can use that to push forward as you go into this Fool energy and explore the future to decide what this void makes up. Then you have Chiron here, which is known as the wounded healer in astrology. Chiron is this, yes, in mythology, it's like this god man who gets hit with an arrow, gets an injury, stays in the cave for however many years in pain, just being in pain and wallowing it, until you see someone walking by his cave one day with the same injury. He's got an arrow. So he gets motivated all of a sudden to figure out how to pull the arrow out of himself and then go and help that other person, because now he's helped himself with the same situation. So that might fill up part of this void, right? The sense of, I've learned and taken so much from this, and I'm taking it with me so that I can go and help others. Maybe that's another, maybe that's like a sort of, I'm helping friends with their situations. Maybe it's a therapist type situation, but also maybe it seems like you can take this into any new relationship, which brings us to the next card, which is Silver. Silver, this card has a lot to do with, it's known as like the second place metal, right? It's behind gold. Gold keeps its shine. It stays golden, right? For, I don't know, forever. But at least for a very, very long time. I don't really know all the science of that, but silver you have to polish and you have to keep shined up and keep the tarnish off of it. So silver represents work in a relationship. It represents having a relationship, which is to constantly be shining it, re-shining it. It will tarnish. I mean, the nature of the universe in general is to default toward entropy, to decay, to fall apart, to tarnish things, for things to kind of die off in a way. And that's what silver does, is it loses its shine. And so it requires a constant shining, an effort, daily effort even. And these experiences that you've collected from the past are going to help you shine up this, whatever relationship you go forward toward in the future. You also had Nebula come out, right? And it fell back into the pile, which is why I wanted to draw another one. But I wanted to keep this because being in this Fool energy, you can't really know what's next. It's really, really hard to make decisions about relationships and what you're going to do without knowing what's next. But that's the thing, is you can't. Know that so many people have taken this leap also, and it can be done. And so many people have experienced such pleasant and wonderful outcomes. It's scary to jump into this fog, and it will be foggy at first, and maybe even for a while, you don't know. We can't know that. But to embrace this fog, to embrace mystery. I'm trying to figure out where I put that Fool card. He's gone, man. He's out on his journey. To embrace mystery and to go toward this void, to find out what is in this void, or to really turn this void into what you will. It's in your hands now. This is very similar to the most recent reading, having to do with the number 0. Yeah. What is love, baby? Don't hurt me. Swada. What did it say about that? I can't even remember that now. Portuguese. An intense longing for a person or place you love, but is now lost. A desire for that which is gone. Yeah, this is really, really similar to the last reading. Perhaps you feel as if this person has passed on in a way, or at least a part of them has died. So this Ash card is really significant, right? Maybe it's just something that like they changed, or your view of them changed, your perception of them changed, and that's just what is to happen in life. And that, you know, the crone knows and accepts this absurdity. It doesn't necessarily always make it easier, but the crone learns to accept this. I looked at the word right underneath it. It says Ya Aberni. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's Arabic. But it means, it's literally translated as you bury me. The hope you will die before the person you love so that you don't have to live without them. So I'm really, really sorry to anybody out there who might experience an actual like physical loss of a loved one. That I can't really even wrap my head around that. For others, it might also be just like such an intense sense of loss, of betrayal, of like losing someone you once loved because they changed or hurt you in a way. But your task is to heal yourself, to accept the absurdity of it all, to heal yourself and to move forward. And in doing that, you will be able to heal others, and you will encounter others. I'm getting that you will be able to help with the knowledge you have picked up from this situation. I want to draw an outcome. What's the outcome from taking these actions? Mentor. I like this card because you have this wise, you know, owls are often associated with wisdom. This wise owl who's like whose wings are in this like sort of engulfing and like bringing in, almost as if to hug or shelter or protect this like supernova, or not supernova, nebula, this nebula, which is where stars are born. They call them stellar nurseries, nebulae, because you look at all, they're like little baby stars that get formed in this gas of matter that all ends up coming together, right? And forming these sources of light that you can see from light years away, right? So the knowledge that you've picked up from the situation and the wisdom is really, really going to help a lot of people. And it's going to turn you into this mentor. I also really like that the owl is, the face of the owl is heart-shaped. And in my brain, that's just saying, don't be jaded to love. Let love be your face, right? Let love be the face of you. It's easy to be bitter, to let ash be ash. Bitter and closed off and protected. But by letting love, wearing your heart on your sleeve, so to speak, by being love, you will do a lot of good. And perhaps this is part of your greater, I mean, it's really part of anyone's greater purpose, right? More. We got this for the last reading too. Check out that 0 reading. The Maiden. This is childlike wonder, but a sense of sensuality, right? Exploring love in the physical realm, embracing and loving oneself, Darkness. Maybe you will find healing in healthy physical sort of sex, is what I'm saying, through sexual healing, you know. Maybe you'll find healing in healthy physical contact with others. And you have this Hunter. I want one more card to elaborate on the Hunter. The King. This is very much like this other reading. King of Pentacles, okay? So you're hunting out yourself another king. That could be any gender. But this is someone, you're still searching, you're still on the hunt, you're still on the lookout for love. And maybe you are filled with shadow at this time, but you're heading toward the light. Full force ahead. This horse looks like it's galloping out of the darkness into the light toward, oh yes, and this Hunter is like the same colors and like got these stripes, right? These stripes are coming out of this king. So you're looking for this King of Pentacles, perhaps within yourself, but also you're trusting that it's out there. Love will find you. Wear love. On your sleeve, and you'll get there. Yeah, so that's a reading. If you liked this, please like and subscribe. I hope it helped. Good luck with moving forward in your life. Being on the threshold of that new life is scary, but this energy, good gravy, I can't even pick up these cards. This energy, this horse galloping forward, and this beautiful owl protecting and sheltering and showing wisdom. I have faith in your future, and whatever you do, I think is likely to turn out. I don't know, I can't say more. I'm dragging on with different things, but I hope that everything turns out well for you and that you're able to nurture and your relationships and help heal yourself and others as you move forward. And yeah. One last thing. Perhaps you'll be able to better figure out what love is for you, right? Maybe this whole what is love question that the author was making a joke about, like, how can you even answer that? Like, he's kind of right? Like, everyone's ideas of what love is and what it looks like, how they give it and also receive it is so different. So I also want to say, take notes about what you feel isn't love for you and what is, and that'll help you move forward also. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe. Goodbye.